Hello students, standard 7th. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 8, that is comparing quantities. You know that in our daily life, so many times, so many occasions occurs in which we need to compare two quantities. For example, maybe we have to compare the heights of two persons and decide who is taller, who is shorter. Especially in your classroom, when sitting arrangement is done, then we have to compare that who is shorter can sit in the front and the taller students can sit at behind, so that everybody can perfectly look at the board. So here we need to compare. Similarly, the speed of the vehicles, or when running competition is also there, when the two participants are running, then we need to check their speed, and according to their speed, whose speed is more, means is faster than the other, and by this we can decide the winner of that competition. Similarly, if you have some marbles, your friend has some marbles, then who has more marbles, how much times more marbles, or how much times, means what part of it if it has less marbles. By this method, it means that I am telling you that in these situations, there are other also, maybe in your surroundings, everyday life, that you compare. How many rotis you eat and your brother or sister eat, that also you compare. I eat more than you, or you eat more less than me. That is also a type of comparison. Here you can see that in the picture given here, they are comparing here the height, Hina and Amir. Here number of marbles they are comparing. Here the speed of Chitta and that boy or a man, whatever. So these are some examples in which we need to compare two quantities. Now, if we compare the quantities like speed of Chitta and speed of man, we know here has given that Chitta's speed is 120 km per hour and the man's normal speed is 20 km per hour. So you can see that if you find the ratio 120 upon 20, then you get the 6. It means that Chitta is 6 times faster than a man. Or you can see that man is 6 times less, or sixth part, man's speed is sixth part of the Chitta speed. You can convert in the inversion also. So when we compare the quantities, one thing is very important to remember, that whenever we compare the two quantities by ratio, this is called a ratio. When we described like certain times or certain part of another quantity. We saw that cheetah's speed is 6 times speed of man. Here that comparison we did, that is known as the ratio. And as I told you that we already learned it also, that when we compare two quantities by ratio, the most important thing is that, look here, while comparing two quantities, you have to remember that units of both quantities must be same. Means their units must be same. For example, kilogram, then both should be kilogram. Height is there in centimeter, then both height must be in centimeter. If you are comparing the mass, then kilogram or gram, whatever is there, both quantities must be in the same units. And if it is not in same units and it is related to the same quantity like speed or the distance, etc., then you have to make them by converting them into the equal units. So you can't find the ratio when the both quantities have different units. You can't compare 5 kilogram to 7 meters, because kilogram is a unit for the mass. Meter or kilometer, that are the units of distance. So those quantities you can never get ratio, because their units are different. If it is 1 in kilogram and gram, then you can compare them, because you can convert the kilogram into gram and then you have to carry on. You cannot directly compare 3 kilogram and 300 gram or 7 kilometer and 200 centimeter. They are the same quantities like length or whatever, but their units are different. So before conversion, before the ratio comparison, we must convert them such that both quantities have the same unit. Let us understand with example. Here, if Hina's height is 150 centimeter and Amir's height is 100 centimeter. Now, here you can see that centimeter, both height is in the same units. So you can easily compare them by ratio. Then we will find a ratio of their height. So Hina's height, when you use ratio, you put two dots and it is known as is to. So Hina's height is to Amir's height. Hina's height is to Amir's height. Then it is equal to 150 is to 100. Now we don't need to write down the units, because when we find a ratio is just a number. Ratio is just a number, and when you find the ratio, at the end you don't write any units. So here 150 is to 100. You can write down as 150 upon 100. Then by simplifying, we get 3 upon 2. It means that ratio of Hina's height and Amir's height is 3 is to 2. Some people say 3 ratio 2, but actually it is 3 is to 2. So here we saw that their units were equal. Let us understand another example in which the units are different. Look here. Find ratio of 5 kilogram and 500 gram. Both are unit of mass, but they are different. One is in kilogram, the other one is in gram. Now you know the conversion. Then 1 kilogram is how much gram? We know that 1 kilogram is 1000 gram. Therefore, first of all, we have to convert both masses in same unit. So we know that 5 kilogram means 5 times 1000, that is 5000 gram. So now we can convert. We have already converted. So now we can compare them. So now the required ratio 5 kilogram is to 500 gram. So now kilogram is converted into 5000. So 5000 is to 500. That is 5000 divided by 500. Then by comparison you get 10. Denominator is nothing, so we write down 1. Because when we write down ratio, it must be in the form of numerator and denominator. And if there is no number in denominator, we write down 1. So 10 upon 1. Therefore, the required ratio of 5 kilogram and 500 gram is 10 is to 1. But if you forget, if you don't look at the units, then what will you write down? 5 is to 500. You will write down 5 is to 500 and then you simplify and your answer is wrong. So, whenever you compare by ratio, you should take care of units. That units must be same of the both quantities. Now we learn about the ratio. Now, equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratio, when can we say that the two given ratios are equivalent? For that, what we have to do? We have to convert the given ratios into fractions. And then we have to compare these fractions. You know most, to compare the fractions, we convert them by finding their equivalent fractions such that they are like fractions. Means we convert them with the equal denominator. Now if these like fractions are equal, it means that both the ratios have numerator and denominator in their fractional form are equal. Then those two ratios are known as equivalent ratios. If they are different, then they are not equivalent ratios. So, as I told you, first of all, what we have to do, write down the ratios in the form of fraction. Both the ratios in the form of fractions. Then compare that to fractions. You know the comparing fractions we already learned. And then for comparison, what do? We convert them into the like fraction, means having same denominator, and then compare them. If they are equal, ratios are equivalent. Let us understand with an example. Here we have to consider two ratios, 3:4 and 6:8. So 3:4 is 3 by 4, 6:8 is 6 by 8. So we have to check whether they are equal. So now here you can see that they have different denominators. So 3/4 we convert such that it will also have the same ratio, same base, same denominator 8. So we multiply 2 by 2, so we get the 6 by 8 again. And the other is already 6 by 8. So here you can see that both the like fractions are equal, 6 by 8 and 6 by 8. It means that they are equivalent fractions. And if they are equivalent fractions, the related ratios are also equivalent ratios. So here you can see that the 3:4 and 6:8 are equivalent ratios. If the answers would come different, we would say that they are not equivalent fraction, means one of them will be bigger and the other will be the smaller. So if they are not equal, greater or smaller than each other, then they are not equivalent ratios. Now, what is the use of equivalent ratios? In so many situations, we need this equivalent ratios. When two ratios are equivalent, we say that they are in proportion. And this proportion is very, very important in some aspects of our life. We already learned about it, but let us recall that memory also. That where should we need this comparison of the proportion? Because that proportion is very, very important. Let us understand with this example given in this figure. Look at this figure here. Can you see it properly? Now, what thing you feel some different, some odd things? Can you see that woman is standing near that building? Can the woman be that much tall that she is nearly at the height of that top windows? So, here you can see that the drawing is not made properly. So it looks like that either the building is too short or the woman is too tall. So that is not possible. If the building is too short, how can people stay in? So while we draw the sketch of this building, the ratio of the actual height and in the drawing height, and the ratio of the height of the woman and in the sketch height of the woman, they must maintain. It means actual height of building divided by the actual height of mother should be the same, the height in the sketch of them. Otherwise, it will look weird like that, something not properly. You know, if we want to make a building, our house is to be built, we buy a plot, and if you want to make a house on it, then first of all, what will we do? Just we call the masons and tell them, yes, build my house. No. You will hire an architect, and that architect will come and you will tell them that which type of house you want to build, or tell him to give some idea that this is our plot, what type of building can be here so that it is comfortable for these people. You have to keep in the mind about the number of people in your house and how many bedrooms or kitchen or toilet, bathroom, etc. are needed. Then what will he do? He will make a drawing or a blueprint. When he draw the blueprint also, he will keep in the mind about the ratio of the real height and height in the drawing. The length, the breadth, height of the rooms, kitchen, everything. He will draw perfectly with the same ratio. Whatever ratio he will maintain throughout. And then that drawing will give you a perfect idea of the house to be built. So in this situation, we can see that the ratios should be maintained. Similarly, if you don't know, but when the national flags are made, we can't keep any length and breadth of our national flag. So when they make the national flag, the ratio of their length to the breadth must be maintained. So flag can be smaller or bigger or bigger or biggest, doesn't matter, but the ratio of their length and breadth must be maintained. And that is in our country. In different countries it can be different ratios, but generally in our country the ratio of length to the breadth is either 1.5:1 or 1.7:1. So when you make the length and breadth, you should have this ratio 1.5:1 or 1.7:1. Similarly, you know the maps. In geography, you learn about the maps. When they prepare the maps, if you see the whole map of our country, then the distances are maintained. If you see the real distance between the cities and the distance that you measure in the map, and if you find the ratios, then the both ratios must be equal. Otherwise, that map will misguide you. So, when you see the map, then you must look at it, that there will given the ratio, that this is the ratio maintained, and then the perfectly map can be drawn. So in our daily life also, these equivalent ratios and the proportion are very, very important. We are going to finish today's session. Will be followed by the PDF, and if any problem, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.